One. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Today we're going to be doing a quick review of the AL MX Lite. Now, before I start, I shot this the other day, and I did not have this tablecloth here, which I bought from Amazon, and I wasn't happy with the lighting. So I'm reshooting this just so everybody knows. So again, this is the AL MX Lite. Now, I bought this from Adorama for $149 on VIP 2-day shipping. I'm going to be doing a review of Adorama too in the coming weeks. So the reason why I bought this light is a couple different things. Now, I travel a lot for work being a tour manager, and I was looking for something I can use for a small key light for various types of small product shoots and also doing videos like this. So for example, right now I'm shooting this inside of a hotel in the mountains in Arizona, and I was looking for, again, a light that I can travel with, that's very mobile, that's bright, and kind of checked all my boxes per se. And this, along with the ALMW light and the Bowling BLP1 light, which I'm currently using this light, along with the ALMW light and also the Bowling P1 light as my 3 key lights to light this video as we speak. So after getting the box in the mail, I was very happy with the purchase. Now, this was the first light that I purchased out of the 3 from the recommendation of somebody at Adorama at a really good price point. So I had about $70 in credit that was expiring from my account, and I decided to pick up this light. So right away, Apature is known for packaging, and I'm a really big person on packaging. If you actually watch my channel and kind of pay attention, I think, and this is not my philosophy, this has been proven, that the second you put your fingers on a box, you've already determined the quality and whether you're pretty much going to buy that package or that product right away. Now, I used to interview CEOs for a trade publication in Chicago about 10 years ago. And when I spoke to a boxing company that designed boxes and made boxes, they said, this was the CEO, that within 1/16 of a second, you've already determined whether you're going to buy that product or not, just based on the touch and the feel. So let's get into this. So they make great products. I have several of their products, by the way. The box is fantastic. It's kind of like that old school kind of a feel. And here's their branding right over here, and I absolutely love their branding. I'll get into that in a minute. So Apature also has some really nice cases with pretty much everything they sell. This is their branding over here. Again, it's white and red. I love red for a lot of reasons. It's the color of my company, which is black and red for Stefan Shoots. I have a black and matte black bike. I'm wearing a red shirt. The interior of my car is black and red too. So this is just a carabiner and for the belt loop. Now this can be used for a couple different things. The light, ironically, goes in right over here. This is Velcro. It comes off on one side, but it does not come off on the other. So you actually put your gels and your diffusers over here, and then you might want to stick, for example, maybe some SD cards. That's up to you. Or I even thought about maybe putting some lens cleaner in there or some sensor cleaner along with the swabs. So let me put this to the side. This is just the instructions. No one ever reads the instructions anymore, which I should have when I bought the product, and I'll explain that in a minute. So you get a couple different diffusers when you buy this. This is the typical one, and it does tend to get scratched up a little bit. I don't think that's going to make a difference at the end of the day, but I've used this already for several shoots. I've shot this several times, and just to give everybody an idea, these are magnets, which I'll show everybody in a second how that works. Here's another diffuser, more of a matte type of a look. And then here's a different type of diffuser. I'm not sure if I'll ever use this, but it's always nice to have. And then it also comes with some Velcro pieces, which is kind of interesting. I've never seen Velcro come with this type of a light. So this is actually the Velcro for the sides. This is the same type of Velcro that's used on the GoPro. So if you're familiar with those types of Velcro, it's going to stick for a long time. So you better make sure you get this right on the first time. And here's the Velcro for the back. You get 2 of these, by the way. So here's the little 1/4 adapter. Now, it's good. It's not great. I'm going to bring out a second one from a company called Felix in a second. That's probably my favorite one. But what's really nice is you've got the 5/8 here to a 1/4 adapter. And the reason why that's really nice, So, for example, I'm on a podcast type of setup for the microphone. So I have a boom mic coming from the side, just the articulating arm. And the articulating arm had to go from a half inch down to 3/8 of an inch. And I made that mistake on Amazon buying the adapter. And then this has ended up working out really well. You can also use a Joby, which is really nice too. So I'm using a Zoom H6 with the stereo shotgun mic. It's my favorite mic setup so far. So what's nice about this is you have the cork right over here. So when you actually put it on, you don't tighten it down too much, and it's easier to do. It's just easier to get off. And then for the most part, it's your typical ball head. I mean, there's nothing special about it. And then that's just your cold shoe mount over here. Now I'm going to bring in the one that I really like. This is from a company called Felix. Felix makes very nice LED lights, and I used a $3,000 set of lights for a podcast I shot with a 4-time Olympian. That was at Nancy Swider, so if you look at my page, you'll be able to see that. Maybe I'll include a picture. But the reason why I like this is 1/4. That's the only difference here. This is really nice. This is a little bit thicker. And then this is rubber instead of cork. So the cork might actually wear out over time. The rubber never will. I've used this thing hundreds of times. For example, I might take my Zoom H6 and put it on top of my Canon EOS R for the shotgun mic, and I pretty much use this every time. I've never had any type of rattling happen with that, which is really nice. And it's just a much better build quality. I think the cost on this would be right around $15 to $20. So to give an idea of what you get, just a little bit smaller, a little bit more versatile. So I will definitely use this for what I'm using it for right now. But this just give everybody an idea of what you get with a $3,000 lighting set. And then these adapters are always really nice, to be honest. I think this is one of my favorite things just about adapters in general, is because they're very versatile, and when you need it, you never have it. So it's just nice to have a couple lying around just in case. You also get some rubber bands. This might be for swag, or it might actually be for this, which I think it's more for this. We put that to the side. So this is the USB-C, the USB that you get. Now, I made the mistake of trying to charge USB-C to USB-C from my MacBook Pro, and I couldn't figure out for the life of me why it wasn't working. Because at the end of the day, a USB-C to USB-C should work. So I contacted Apature. They got back to me pretty quickly because I think I talked to their customer service people either in California or I believe they're an Australian-based company. And they just told me to try this, and it worked fine. So you can use the adapter if you have the adapter, and I have several, so that's not an issue. But I'm just really happy that everything is going towards USB-C now. So here's the actual light. Now you have 127 of these modules over here for light. This thing is heavy, and I like that. Some people don't like the fact how heavy it is, and I think they're what I call a weight weenie from weightlifting. You put this on top of your camera. If you drop this, it's not going to break. If you get the other model, that's more of a plastic type of a feel, but this will not break. I've dropped this several times. So the battery on this is 1800. The company says it lasts right around an hour. I've been getting anywhere from, I want to say 40 to 45 minutes out of it on 100%. So what's nice about this light, even if it's at the lowest battery level, it's still going to show 100% as far as the light. And a lot of lights don't do that. So let me turn it on real quick. That's the light all the way up. That's on the cold setting. And then let me turn it to the warm setting. That's on the warm setting. That's on the cold setting over here. Again, that's on the warm setting. Now let me put the filter on there. So here's the filter or the diffuser on the warm setting and then on the cold setting. Now you also have a power boost, which I'm a little bit confused by this. So let me put the booster on. So the boost, you can barely tell there's a boost, but there is a boost. Now this only lasts for 60 seconds. And I would rather have the boost be unlimited at a lower battery rate, meaning if it's only going to last me 20 minutes on 100%, I'd rather do that. These don't get too hot. They do get a little bit warm, but as far as hotness, I wouldn't be worried about if For example, you left this on your bed, it was on, it's not going to burn the sheets or anything like that. Don't quote me on that, but I don't think it will. Also, their branding is something that I love. It's one of my favorite companies that I've ever seen for branding. They have the A over here. This is ionized red. Their other product, which is the MW, comes in the black color. Apature over here. And then this is really nice too. That's the 1/4 screw, but this is, again, aluminum. And just in case you need to take this off and replace it, those are little star pieces. I'm not sure what the bit rate on there, not the bit, but the actual size. Okay. So again, that's the USB-C. Now, right now I'm running USB-C on this as a constant energy source because, like I said, I'm not sure how long this is going to last. I've already shot this so many times, probably 15, 20 times on this very first presentation I wasn't happy with, and I wasn't running the external power source. So let me go over a couple of the specs really quick. So this is the most powerful light, at least according to Apature, that is for the size. This is basically the size of a credit card, which is really nice. Here's my palm, and here's that. So I'm trying to get a little bit of perspective. It literally is the size of a credit card and maybe about an inch thick altogether, maybe just shy of an inch. Now, the beam is 120 degrees, which is really nice, and the lux goes all the way up to, the color temperature goes all the way up to 6,500, and that's in 5 steps, so you get 5 different steps. You can go all the way up. Hold on. That's all the way up. Give me 1 second here. Basically, you get 5 steps. It's just not going all the way up and all the way down right now. So as far as lights, I really like this type of light for a couple different reasons. You can go to a warm type of light, and you could also use cool lights. I just like using cool lights better just because of how it looks on everything. I just like the cool light in general. Once I started using LEDs, it's just something that I really, really like doing, unless you're doing various types of product shoots. Now, why would you buy this light? I bought this light for the other reasons. Again, for doing small types of product videos and also doing photo shoots, for example, like in a hotel. Now, I also bought this for if I'm on site and I need a small key light or something. For example, you might be in a doctor's office, shooting a couple of headshots or in some type of environment where you just need a very small light. Not, enough to get it from, let's just say 800 ISO from 1,000 all the way down to like 100 or 200. Now, the 2 lights I'm shooting with, actually 3, I'm shooting with this right now to my right, and it's in about 60%. I'm shooting on the the ALMW right now. On the top, it's about 1.5 feet away from me. That's in about 70%. And then the Bowling P1 BL is shooting straight down too, and that's on about 60%. And my ISO is right around, I think, 100. I'm shooting 4K at 24 frames a second on a Canon EOS R. So let me just kind of wrap this up. Again, why I really like this light. It's USB-C. Like I said, everything is going, let me turn this off. Everything is going towards USB-C at the end of the day. It's a very small light. It works. Something you can throw in your bag, kind of forget about it, and it's there. So that's how I kind of look at everything. Now, there are a couple of drawbacks to this light that I'll be getting into more detail when I do the ALMW comparison and also with the P1. So I'll be doing the ALMW comparison, the MX, along with the P1 side by side at a future point in time. If you have $150 to spend, I think it's a really good investment. If you want to spend a little bit more money and get the ALMW, I would advise on that. But you do need a couple of lights at the end of the day. So that's why I'm kind of happy that I have this one, the ALMW, and then the P1. So that's right around, I believe, a little over $400 in lights. But you got to look at what it's used for, and you can be using this for a variety of things. I mean, sometimes you just need lights on site just to have lights, and your iPhone doesn't work, or you just don't want to use your iPhone, and you can kind of set this up in that type of environment. Also, if you're shooting GoPro in maybe like in the desert or somewhere over there where you need light just for a small type of blog, I think this would be a perfect light for that too. Again, this is extremely heavy. Some people don't like the fact that it's so heavy. I like the fact that it's heavy. It means to me it works. It's going to last a long time, and you don't have to worry about breaking it. So on their lower tier one, I believe the price point is right around, I want to say it's $70. I believe it's made out of plastic to a point. And again, this is made out of ionized metal. And once you kind of go towards metal, towards all your various types of lighting products, anything to do with photography, it's kind of really hard to go back. Yeah, there is a weight issue, but you're going to get the dexterity and the longevity of the product at the end of the day. So that's pretty much it. Again, I picked this up at Adorama for, I think it was $149 altogether. And then that's pretty much it. If anybody has any questions, let me know. This is a new setup that I'm using, so let me kind of go over the setup real quick. I'm shooting on a Canon EOS R with a 24-105 RF lens, shooting straight down. I'm using an iPhone right now for another, basically just like a secondary screen, which is working out pretty good. I'm using a Manfrotto 190 Go carbon fiber with the X Pro heads, and that's shooting straight down. And the Manfrotto allows me to actually bring the arm out this way and have the camera facing straight down. Not many tripods do that. I was looking at the Siri one, and it just don't have that option on there. I'm also using an iPad Pro kind of as just using a couple of notes that I wrote down before the presentation, and just kind of keeps me on track. I don't have anything else. And then I'm using the other light over here to my right with a I can't think of the name of the company, RAM, with the RAM mount that's shooting straight down. I'm also using a Rode VideoMic Pro Plus as my secondary audio source. I'm using a Canon 80D on the right side of me. That's with a 10-18, just in case I need that. And I'm also shooting on a GoPro in 4K, and that's at table level. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that shot. I just want to see how it looks like at the end of the day. And then, again, I'm using the P1, BL-P1 for bowling, shooting straight down. I'm using the ALMW. And then for my mic setup, I'm using a toner stand, which is I'll be reviewing soon. And then I'm using a Zoom H6 with a stereo mic, and I'm really, really liking this setup. So if you guys have any questions, comments, please criticize. This is only like the 5th video I've shot. I'm looking forward to getting some feedback at the end of the day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this presentation. Be safe out there. Any day shooting is a good day, and any day riding is a good day too. You guys have a great day, and enjoy the rest of your time.